Once upon a time, in a small green meadow, there lived a tiny ant. He was smaller than most of the other ants in his colony, and although he tried his best to be strong and brave like the others, they would often laugh at him and call him names. "You are too small to help the colony," they would say. "You are too little to be brave, and you will always be the weakest ant here." And these words hurt the little ant very much. He wished he could prove them wrong. He wished he could show everyone that even a tiny ant like him could be brave and strong. One day, while searching for food, the little ant spotted a huge piece of bread lying near the path. It was so big that it looked like a mountain compared to him. But instead of being afraid, an idea sparked in his mind. "If I take this bread back to the colony," he thought, "everyone will see how strong and helpful I am. They will finally know that even a small ant like me can be brave and strong." So, he rushed forward and began carrying the bread. But after just a few steps, the other ants saw him and burst into laughter. "Look at that," they cried. "What a joke! Trying to carry that giant bread. You are too small, little ant. It's impossible." But the little ant did not listen to them. He kept walking forward, although it was very difficult. He was determined to prove everyone wrong. He walked and walked until the hot sun began to shine above. The little ant grew tired and thirsty. The bread seemed to become heavier and heavier with every step. He wanted to stop and rest, but then he thought of his colony, of all the hungry ants waiting for food. "I must keep going," he said. So, taking a deep breath, he began walking again. After a while, the other ants gathered around. They also wanted to carry the bread, but one by one, they became too weak and tired. They sat down and watched as the little ant struggled on. Seeing this, the little ant felt sad. He wished he could ask the others for help, but he wanted to prove to them that he didn't need any help. He had to do everything on his own. So, wiping the sweat from his forehead, he continued his journey. Slowly, step by step, inch by inch, the bread began to move. The little ant worked the whole morning. He worked through the afternoon. Although it took him a long time, slowly but surely, he kept moving forward. He never gave up. Meanwhile, the ants in the colony were getting worried. They had not seen their little friend since morning, and they were afraid that something might have happened to him. Just when they were about to go out and search for the little ant, they saw him in the distance. He was still carrying the bread, and with him, the setting sun. His family and friends gathered around in amazement. "Wow," they shouted. "You did it! We doubted you, but you proved us wrong." The queen ant came forward and smiled. "Little one, you have shown us that bravery and hard work are more important than size. Today, you are the bravest ant in the colony." The ants cheered and celebrated. They shared the big bread together, and the little ant felt proud. But what made him the happiest was that now no one laughed at him or called him names. They respected and admired him. He was no longer the smallest ant in the colony. He was their hero. The little ant learned that day that courage is not the absence of fear, but the strength to carry on despite the fear. He learned that size doesn't matter if you have a brave heart. And most importantly, he learned that if you never give up, you can achieve anything.